What's up, the squad? Back with another video. Seeing that's how that was going down, make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in and watching this reaction. Make sure y'all go check out Doug and Exile in the description box down below. Make sure y'all go check out his channel. Make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button on his channel. Definitely y'all not having the best day right now. Honestly, so I deeply apologize. Birthday is Sunday though, so definitely blessed for that. You know, birthday weekend, but you know. Things will be okay. You know, things will be okay and it'll be all right. And just got to learn to calm down and, you know, not put too much pressure and, you know, stress on myself. But definitely appreciate y'all for keeping me going, giving positive energy. Happy birthdays. I love it. Now, thank y'all. Let's get in the video.
Yes, it's true. Dr. Phil's eyeballs popped completely out of his head on The View, but he also completely destroys Whoopi Goldberg in this segment, Sarah Haynes, and what's the other one? Ann Navarro. This is Doug in exile. This is how we do it in exile.
In like 08, 09, smartphones came on and kids they stopped living their lives and started watching people live their lives.
We start with agreement, and then he's going to set the whole place on fire.
So we saw the biggest spike and the highest levels of depression, anxiety, loneliness, and suicidality since records have ever been kept.
And also not controversial that
one thing about it is it's absolutely true what he's saying. It's absolutely true what he's saying, because one thing about it is I have siblings. I have siblings that's going through that same, what he's talking about is going through that same, and nobody can tell me any different. It's true. Soon smartphones, you know, the iPads, the anything, you know, that what a device. It's true. You go outside right now, you know, if y'all having good weather right now, you're not gonna see much kids at the park, much kids riding bikes up and through the neighborhood or selling candy or this going on or that going on. You ain't gonna see much of that going on, y'all.
depression, suicidality has grown with our use of phones. It's been terrible.
And it's just continued on and on and on. And then COVID hits 10 years later, and the same agencies that knew that are the agencies that shut down the schools for 2 years.
Okay, so now look at his eyeballs bulging out of his head. Dr. Phil has become a sideshow freak. But his comments are correct, that the same experts that knew about the lack of activity and what kids were doing on the phone also knew that you can't take kids out of the public in social distancing. And so they might have saved their life regarding the virus. That's not what I'm arguing at all. I'm only saying if you put kids in what is essentially solitary confinement in a home and no longer allow them to go outside and play with each other in public groups, so like there's a certain amount of socialization that happens in our school, the experts knew it would damage them to some degree.
Who does that? Who takes away the support system for these children? Who takes them away and shuts it down?
Who does that? It's people like The View. He's going, who does that? Who shuts it down when they knew there would be damage?
And by the way, when they shut it down, they stopped the mandated reporters from being able to see children that were being abused and sexually molested, and in fact sent them home and abandoned them to their abusers with no way to watch, and referrals dropped 50 to 60%.
The View, because they're Democrats and they have politicized this issue, anyone who talks like Dr. Phil right now, they're going to see him as some crazy Trumpy Republican Christian nationalist redneck.
So there was also a pandemic going on, and they were trying to save
kids' lives.
Now they're falling over each other now. Whoopi and they were trying to save people's lives. That's all they were trying to do, is trying to save them from the. Okay, I'm not denying the attempt. They were trying.
So remember, we know a lot of folks who died during this. So it wasn't, people weren't laying around eating bond, but
he says not school children. And he means, Whoopi's saying something correct, by the way. We know people who died, and Dr. Phil is saying something also correct. You know people who died, but not the school children. So locking everything down did not save their lives because they, in general, were not vulnerable.
Well, you know what? We're lucky. Maybe we're lucky they didn't, because we kept them out of the places.
Y'all see what I'm talking about? Every time I watch this, every time I see The View, it's in denial. Stop being so in denial. Be real. Man, I'm telling y'all, it's annoying. It gets so annoying.
That they could be sick.
That's not what happened. It's the kids just were not vulnerable to this particular virus the way that older people were. She has invented a political narrative.
Because no one wanted to believe we had an issue.
Now, that's not true, that no one wanted to believe that we had an issue. Everyone knew we had an issue.
Are you saying no school children died of COVID?
Now, Ann Navarro gives a terrible argument saying, are you saying no kids died of COVID? That literally is not what he said. He didn't mean zero. This is a weird thing where once you think that the shutdown was necessary, you now have to argue that there was no possible negative side to it. See, that's what Ann Navarro's doing, and it really shows an unsophisticated mind.
I'm saying it was the safest group. They were the less vulnerable group.
And that is not controversial. It is to The View, because they have a political agenda to demonize people who are not 100% on board, yes, sir, marching to the flag and the goose-stepping in the streets.
And they suffered and will suffer more from the mismanagement of COVID than they will from the exposure to COVID. And that's not an opinion, that's a fact.
Doctor,
he got they audience clapping for him. Y'all know, y'all always see when a host from The View has a point, everybody get to clapping, saying this and saying that. Nah, they audience clapping.
Exposure to COVID, and that's not an opinion, that's a fact.
Dr. Phil has done something that is very rare to see on The View. The audience is clapping for him.
I told
and they're
y'all.
against all of the 5 panelists on The View. And the hosts are just going to go unglued on them. They're getting this.
Well,
they weren't expecting that, and that's the thing. They expect certain people to be on their side, going in and all that. No, y'all done got the right one, and I knew it was gonna happen. It's gonna continue to happen. It's gonna continue to happen. Otherwise, I mean, come on now, y'all already know what's gonna happen to The View.
Phil, we don't even have time to talk it out now, man.
Oh yeah, we can't even talk. And Phil's going
out.
like, yeah, I'd love to talk about this more. And Whoopi's like going, Dr. Phil has a book. Goodbye, everybody.
But thanks for coming. The new book is called...
Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.
I'm telling y'all, it's always in denial. It's in denial when it comes to somebody speaking the truth. When it comes to, speaking to these women, and I'm speaking of the women that's on the show, not women in general. But, it gets like that, it definitely gets like that from the videos that I've seen from The View, and seeing this video and seeing that somebody then got not only them in check, but the audience as well, their audience. And that, like Doug said, is rare to see. Make sure y'all go check out Doug and XL. I definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. If you're having a bad day, just pray about it. Thank God, and keep your head up. Keep it positive, keep it pushing. Catch y'all next one.